Are you concerned that you haven't finished your book yet? Or surely that you should be published by now? I want to share with you the one reason that you haven't achieved success with your writing. So today, that reason that you haven't achieved success, and there is one reason that I want to talk about, but I want to take a little detour before we get into that. I have interviewed hundreds of published authors, and some of these authors, they wrote their book in a year. Some of these authors, they wrote their book in 10 years. So the one reason that you haven't achieved success doesn't have anything to do with speed. Okay. And what else came up when I was interviewing these writers is that some of them had a friend of a friend of a friend who was a literary agent. And some of these writers didn't even know a single writer as they were working on their novel. So it has nothing to do with who you know or what your connections are. The other thing that came up when I was interviewing these hundreds of published writers is that they all felt challenges along the way. And often we can think that the reason that we haven't achieved success, the reason that we're not up there on the shelves, is because those people have something that we don't, and that's not the case. Every single one of those writers on that shelf, in fact, I'm even just going to pick out Kerry Young, an amazing writer who has sat down with me and told me of the countless rejections that she received when she submitted her first manuscript. And this is her first novel, shortlisted for the Costa First Novel Award. So it had nothing to do with rejection. The fact is that every single one of these writers experienced challenges. Every single one of them came this close to giving up, but they didn't. And that is the one reason. And it's why you need to add a yet to your question. So it's not, why have I not achieved success? It's, why have I not achieved success yet? And then you introduce the fact that it's still possible, rather than you're failing, you're doing something wrong. So here's the one reason that you haven't achieved success yet. Success is here. And you're here, and you need to take a few more steps in order to get there. And that is such an important part of your awareness as a writer. Sometimes it can be that we want to be there so much that the distance between us and success becomes a source of pain. But if you can just keep saying to yourself, it hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen. If you give up, you don't get to that point because you go off over there. Or if you decide that it's not for you, again, success is here and you're here, but you stop progressing any further to reach that point. And this is such an important principle to really get to grips with. That fact of yet, that fact that it hasn't happened yet. But it is so going to happen if you stick at it. If you're new here, then do subscribe and join me for weekly support to keep you on that writing path.